All right, welcome back to the Paper Gain Show. This week we're gonna do things a little different. I thought there's so much advice out there. I thought I would pull up a tweet thread that I saw recently and dissect that from the perspective of an advisor. So nothing against Matt, great systems guy, enjoy most of his content, but this one caught my eye because one, it goes after financial advisors. So let's dive into the advice that that he's giving, and I'll give you my perspective. Focus on making more, not saving more. $1 lattes won't make you rich. Adding 5,000 monthly income will. Agree with all of that. Do think it's worth noting that it is good to at least have an understanding of your expenses, but agree 100% that obviously the 5,000 in income allows for a much better quality of life than trying to just cut your expenses. All right. Index funds won't make you rich. I've seen, I'll take the opposite on this. I've seen index funds, when utilized correctly, make you very rich. I mean, if you, I've seen people that invest in just in a 401k, put the max in, and invest wisely and get those 8 to 10% returns that you historically see within the stock market. And over a 30-year career, they end up with a couple $1 million in an IRA, and that's more than enough for them. Saying index funds won't make you rich, I think, is poor advice. Also, 8% annual returns. You can run the numbers. There's plenty of calculators out there, but especially if you're continuing to contribute and making a number of other financially wise decisions and assume an 8% return over an extended period of time where you're not messing with it, not trying to time the market, anything like that, you can end up with an extremely rich life, especially if you're doing saving aggressively. The wealthy start businesses. That's absolutely true. They're not always true. Being an employee doesn't always mean that you're taking the safe way out. I mean, an extreme example is Meta paying all of these AI researchers $100+ million over a couple years. Those are employees, and they're making extreme amounts of wealth. So there's many different ways to do this. If you're somebody that is making a couple 100,000, and maybe you're an insurance broker or in sales or whatever it may be, this doesn't mean you need to go out there and start a business. You can build equity and own assets and not be a passenger and still be an employee. So that's one of those. Does great online, but terrible advice in reality. Most financial advice is designed to keep you poor. I know our industry gets a bad rap. That's nothing I can do about that except for give great advice to the clients that I work with and here on these videos. I've never felt like I wanted to keep clients dependent on those 1% fees forever. I think that's a very broad statement. Absolutely try to deliver value in excess of that 1% fee. I fired my financial advisor when I realized he made more from my account than I did. That's unfortunate. Build businesses, own assets. Agree with some of it. Obviously, own assets. Stop renting your wealth out to middlemen. I think I would argue against that advice. Your salary is a drug that's killing your dreams. Great for Twitter, and obviously I'm talking about it now today, but disagree. I mean, I am a W-2 employee. That steady paycheck can allow you to build businesses on the side. So, like, if that's what it takes to build a financial life and financial stability, you can utilize that drug that's killing your dreams to make your dreams come true. So largely disagree, but yes, building a business is arguably a much quicker way, if successful, to become a millionaire within 3 years. That is typically hard to do as an employee. I can agree with that. Investment advice from poor people is worthless. Great headline again, but 99% of people giving investment advice have never built wealth themselves. I guess I'll come at this from my perspective. If not all of my clients are much wealthier than myself. And I think I give very good advice. A lot of that's a product of I'm in my 30s, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And so just because age shouldn't be determining if it's good advice or not. The diversification is for people who don't understand money. Spread your risk across 500 index funds, get average returns forever. Rich people do the opposite. Totally disagree on that. I think diversification has its place, especially if you're trying to stay wealthy. Is it the best tool to get wealthy? That's debatable depending on your situation and income and what you're trying to accomplish. But if you're a business owner that your primary asset has been your business, you work for all these years, you sell that business, in all likelihood, you will diversify, not into 500 index funds. I think that's, I've never once seen anybody do that. And these are rich people. So like you can still get great returns. Don't agree with that. With any, I think people focus too much on getting the exceptional returns versus. I see what he's saying there. I do over an extended period of time to a small degree that people can take more risk, or at younger ages. I have seen maybe a 45-year-old, an 8 to 10% return over a long period of time. I would invest it, but that's what allows them to see getting where this is all built into. In their seats, some sort of course or something like that's that. Really what matters. Like I said, comfort is an enemy of wealth. An attack on uncomfortable things. I agree from that perspective. When it also do plenty of comes to your personal life, be careful what advice you can be there. Be beneficial. The best mentor show you the 10 million there are minimal assets. Just now you're kind of nowhere determined your net worth and whatnot. Small business owner. I thought this was a great exercise and taking some of this advice. Feel free to reach out anytime. Got way more information is on every post. But I thought this would be a fun, different way to dive into a topic and give you the perspective from an advisor. Thanks, and appreciate you watching this. And I hope you watch the next video. Thanks. And advice that's out there and give you the perspective from an advisor. Thanks, and appreciate you watching this. And I hope you watch